Okay, I mean to make this video for a while now. Part of me wanted to wait until there was an official decision by the California legal system, but I don't know when that's gonna be. But also, I've been really busy lately, so I figure I have an hour and a half or so to kill now. I might as well do it now. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning over here, and I have to work overnight in a little bit, so I have time. The Menendez brothers case has been front and center for the past couple of months now. Documentaries, I think it was a dramatization series on Netflix. Now, I personally am not gonna go over every single minute detail because I don't know every single minute detail. And if I were to print out a form of every single minute detail and read it like a book, this would be a 3-hour video and it would be very boring. So I'm gonna give you just the overall situation and my opinions of them. And if yeah, it's on. I'll make sure it's on. Give me my overall opinion, and if I miss one little minute detail, don't go crazy, okay? The Menendez brothers were two young boys. They were brothers, obviously, 4 years apart, Lyle and Eric. They lived in Beverly Hills, 90210. I did not see the TV show when I was a kid, but 90210 is synonymous with show business and money and all that other bullshit. This was before California went full libtard. California was still basically sane to most degrees. And even to this day, 90210, the zip code is, it's all about show business, okay? Actors, musicians, models, okay? And everybody that lives in that area makes a living from show business one way or another, okay? If you have a car dealership, you sell cars to stars. If you have a restaurant, stars hang out at your restaurant, okay? You're probably an agent or an attorney, and you represent models, or you somehow make a living in the big picture of entertainment, and paparazzi, shit like that, okay? And they had a lot of money. I think their father was into some shit. I don't know what the father was one of those guys that made a living from, I don't even fucking know, but whatever. They come home and they find their parents murdered, and they make the 911 call and say, someone killed my parents, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you make a 911 call, that is technically a police report. When you make a 911 call, you're talking to a peace officer. When you make a 911 call, it is recorded, and that recording is evidence in any court in this country. And I'm certain a lot of other guys in Europe, Canada, Australia, you have your own emergency numbers, your own recording, stuff like that. The parents were brutally murdered, shotgun blast, horrible. And the theory that they put forward was that the mafia did it. Okay, the mafia did it. Now, they inherited a couple $100,000 in a life insurance policy right away almost. And then the overall count from the parents' estate was about $14 million. Now, if your parents are murdered by the mafia, and if you're very traumatized by that, and you have that kind of money, you move out of state, get a nice house, wall it in, surveillance cameras, guns, maybe hire a bodyguard. Okay, they did make a trip back to Jersey to their family's ancestral home, and their family came from Jersey originally. They bought a restaurant, they got a manager for them, and they went back home, and they bought Rolexes, a Jeep, a Porsche. They were cruising up Rodeo Drive, and the police obviously noticed this. Like 99% of the time, if someone you live with is murdered, or if your ex-wife or ex-husband is murdered, 99% of the time, they're gonna watch you for a little while. Okay, they can watch you from surveillance, or they might get a quarter to look at your financial records. But they're gonna watch you. And one thing led to another, and the DA and the police department brought a case for murder against the boys. And the first trial was a mistrial. All the male jurors wanted guilty, all the female jurors wanted not guilty. And in America, first of all, only like 1 out of every 500 guys gets a jury. Jury is the rarest thing in the world. And most of us have been to jury duty at least once. I've been to federal jury duty twice. If you go to jury duty, 90% of the time you sit in the room, looking at the wall, or maybe go up to a courtroom and answer a few questions. But to get a jury is like 1 in every 500 cases. Juries are usually reserved for murders, rapes, kidnappings, organized crime, that kind of shit. And if you're found not guilty in court in America, you could literally show the judge and jury a video of yourself committing the crime, and you're still not guilty. You can never be retried again. But a loophole to the Sixth Amendment is if the jury cannot decide the case, it is called a hung jury. And the loophole to that is that they can still bring the case back. Now, 99% of the time, you get a hung jury, it's a de facto not guilty verdict, and you walk free. But if it's a very serious case, and like I said, juries don't do small cases. If it's a very serious case, which usually is rape, murder, kidnapping, organized crime, terrorism, shit like that, if it's that serious, the DA will come back. And in this case, the DA came back. But when the DA came back, OJ had already happened. And it embarrassed the living shit out of the Justice Department. Nationally. Now this time, the boys admitted that they had killed their parents. But they're saying that it's self-defense because their parents abused them. Or their father abused them, at least sexually. And they had the whole 9 yards. They're white boys, they're rich, they came in with khakis and nice knit sweaters. And if you remember Daddy 05 and Mommy 05, Daddy 05 was a divorcee that had a couple of kids from his ex-wife. And Mommy 05 was his wife who had a couple of kids from her ex-husband. And they engaged in pranks and bullying that went way overboard with the kids, way overboard, to the point where YouTube viewers didn't flag the video as inappropriate. YouTube viewers literally called the sheriff in their home county and the DA in their home county and asked for an investigation. Okay, and I thought, if you're doing this on camera, smacking the kid around and shit like that, if you're doing this on camera, what are you doing when I turn the camera off? And Daddy 05 and Mommy 05 were indicted. They deleted their videos. And they came on and did a video, apologizing to the audience. And Daddy is wearing his nice shirt with his vest. I'm so sorry. Blah, 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 blah. And that is pretty much the uniform of the sorry white boy. And the sorry white girl. You have women that are 39 years old. They're drop dead gorgeous. They look 20 years younger than they are. And they end up in bed with a 9-year-old boy. And they come to court with their uniform, which is the really, really nice suit with the hair slicked back and the makeup and the cross and the Bible. I'm so sorry. Okay? And the boys were given that I'm so sorry routine. This jury didn't buy it, and this jury put away for life. Now, many years later, the case is being reopened because we have evidence now that there was a letter written years ago to a family member saying, we think the boys may have actually been molested this time. Now, first and foremost, this doesn't look good from the I defended myself perspective. Now, when you kill someone in self-defense, that literally means someone is gonna rape you right now, or someone is gonna kill you right now, and you kill them to stop them right now. Now, wives that wait for their husband to go to sleep and slit his throat, wives that wait for him to come home from work with the shotgun in the corner, the DA will say, your husband's asleep, you could have left the house. Your husband's at work, you could have went to the police. And the DA will basically say, yes, your husband abused you for years, but at the moment you killed him, it was murder. Because yes, he beat the shit out every single day, but you killing him in his sleep or ambushing him when he gets home from work is murder. So, taking that into consideration, we plead down to involuntary manslaughter. You get 5 years probation. Okay? Because at the exact moment you killed him, it wasn't self-defense. It would have been self-defense an hour later, but it wasn't self-defense right then and there. These boys were allegedly abused by their father. And about a decade later, when they're in their 20s, instead of moving out, maybe moving out into one of the lesser known communities, moving into the outskirts where rent is cheaper, and getting an apartment and working at McDonald's, because you're an adult now, move out. Yeah. Move back to your family members in Jersey, just get away. Because now you're an adult. And now you and your brother can pool your money together and go rent an apartment in a low-income neighborhood. You can go work at McDonald's. You can go back home to Jersey, your family members, because there's family in Jersey. You can do something. No. They borrowed or stole a friend's ID, and they bought 2 shotguns, possibly Mossberg 500 variants. They were never found, by the way. Okay, now buying a gun with a fake ID under an assumed name is what? A federal crime. And they go to the house, and their parents are watching TV, and they come blasting. Now, being hit with a 12-gauge shotgun, even if it's number 500 birdshot, that's gonna hurt. And that's gonna leave a mess. Shotguns at point-blank range are very, very nasty. Okay? Be real about that. And they go back outside. They reload. They come back inside, and they finish shooting. Now, if you shoot someone because they attacked you, now you have a legitimate claim of self-defense. This person attacked me and I shot them to defend myself. Okay. You go outside. But once you've gone outside, you've left the area, you've left the scene. You've retreated with safety. And now you come back. Well, that's not defense anymore. I shot the person, they went down, I ran away. That's defense. I came back later, or I came back a minute later or 10 hours later, that's not self-defense anymore. Now in their case, they went to the truck and got more ammo. You're defending yourself. You shot your parents with shotguns in self-defense. Then you left the home, went to the truck. Why didn't you drive away? Why are you reloading? And you come back and kill them. That sounds more like cold-blooded murder to me. And if your father really did molest you 10 years ago or more, now you have a case of revenge. Okay, you waited 10 years to blow his ass away. That's revenge. And even though a lot of us man, you raped your kid, you should be fucking killed, man. Yeah, But the law says that's revenge. And the law does not permit revenge. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can't kill someone in revenge. And if you ever saw the movie or read the book A Time to Kill, where Sam Jackson's daughter is raped and tortured horribly by two white supremacists, he shoots them while they're going into court. And by law, that is revenge. However you feel bad about that person, that is still revenge. It is. And the fact that they committed a federal crime to get the shotguns, they got rid of the shotguns, they originally lied and told the police they found their parents. There was this thing that the mafia might have done it. Okay, it didn't come out until later on. Well, if you're defending yourself legitimately, you're supposed to tell the police right then and there, I shot that person in self-defense. Yes, you can get a lawyer, and I would if I were you, but now we're going into the revenge, and why are you covering it up? And there's a thought they might be released on parole. The conviction might stand, but they might be released early because of parole or good behavior or some shit, or having the sentence commuted to parole. I don't know. I personally don't think they should get paroled. Now, the mother. Most mothers, if they see you raping their child, will literally get a fucking butcher knife and kill your ass. Most mothers will say flat out, you touch my son, I'll fucking kill you. You touch my daughter, I'll fucking kill you. But some mothers are active participants or passive participants, or they let it happen. Now, was the mother an active participant? Was she a passive participant? Or was she just a coward? Because there have been times when husbands beat the fucking shit out of their wives and they rape their daughter or their stepdaughter. Or whatever they do. And the wife is afraid. Was the mother? We don't even know if the mother was a participant. She could have been just scared. And you fucking shoot mom with a 12-gauge shotgun, then you go back outside, reload, and come back and shoot her again. Think of the mentality that requires. There was a book I read years ago. It was called A Boy Called It. The guy is older than me now. He's about 20 years older than me now. His mother passed away. His mother tortured him. If you read the book, you'll fucking vomit. His mother stabbed him. His mother beat him. His mother made him clean the house with chemicals, made him pass out. His mother did to him. I mean, it was just so horrendous. And the police took him away. They didn't take the other kids away. They didn't put the mother in prison. They took him away. And he, who was fucking tortured by his own mother, he did not come back 10 years later with a shotgun and kill her. So I personally don't think they should be paroled, because I do think there's a danger to the public. If you're willing to kill your own mother a decade and a half after your father abused you sexually, I mean, I'm assuming that the abuse is true. Don't forget, some guys don't think the abuse is true because they inherited a lot of money. And when they inherited that money, they spent it on a lot of crazy shit. One of the brothers hired, I forgot to mention this earlier, he hired a tennis coach at $50,000 a year. You know what that is today? That's like $75,000 a year today. So your parents abuse you sexually and you kill them as a defense years later, but then when you get the money, you start spending it. Their behavior before, after, and during didn't sound like it was defense of any kind. And I personally think that that person should not be in the community. Now, if they had come home, went upstairs, waited for their mother to go to the bathroom, killed their father, got their mother, and went to the police right away, then I might have said, okay, release them. But I don't think so. And next time I get a chance, probably Saturday or Sunday, we're going to talk about the Susan Smith case because she's up for parole soon. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you.